I've listened to Honky Tonk Heroes by Waylon Jennings for a month and a half.
And I listened to it once yesterday.
Welcome to Spin It. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Spin It, the record ranking podcast for people who would rather be listening to music. My name is James. That guy over there across the podcast is Connor.
I'm a tonky. What?
Yeah? What?
I was about to say. I'll say what I meant to say first, and then I'll tell you what I accidentally started to say.
Yeah.
I'm a honky tonk hero.
Yeah, you are, I think.
Started to say I'm a tonky honk hero.
Fantastic.
Anyway, I'm a honky tonk hero.
What do you think a honky tonk hero even does?
Saves honky tonks from honky tonk villains.
Oh, like a honky tonk superhero.
No, there's nothing super about me.
You're just a normal, average Joe. Honky tonk heroes walk among us. I'm excited for this one. I've been looking forward to a Waylon Jennings episode. We actually almost did him in place of Christofferson. I wasn't sure which one I wanted to do. Christofferson jumped out at me at the time, especially since he recently passed away.
Christopher's son beat out Waylon Jennings.
He did, in the moment. But that brings me to my next point. We're collecting Highwaymen, just like we collected Boy Genius.
Yeah.
We are finishing our quartet with this Waylon Jennings episode. This is the last of the bunch we needed. We've got Wayland, we did Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, and Chris Christofferson. Episodes 213, 78, 43, and 189, respectively. That's super cool. Yeah, we did Redheaded Stranger and Live at Folsom Prison, and we did Christofferson. Now we got Honky Tonk Heroes. So, be on the lookout for a Highwaymen episode. Now that we've collected all the members, we could do the thing again.
Yeah, we weren't even really tracking that one as closely as the Boy Genius Pokemons.
No, the Boy Genius one kind of cropped up. Honestly, I mean, we didn't even start thinking about it until after Phoebe Bridgers. Once we did Julian Baker, we were like, oh, the Boy Genius, we could finish that. Then, with the Highwaymen, we had already done Willy and Johnny, and I was like, oh, now that we're doing Christofferson, we're very close to just finishing the Highwaymen out completely.
Yeah. Is there anybody else like that we've done part of a supergroup but haven't completed?
Kind of. I mean, there are probably a few that we could hit and collect or deconstruct. Honestly, I would love to do episodes about all the Beatles solo albums.
Yeah, I know you would.
I know, and that's why I've refrained for more than 100 episodes from doing anything like that. Might not get away with none of them, but we'll see. First, we got to talk about Waylon Arnold Jennings. Do you know any Waylon? Any Outlaw Country?
I do. I'm just trying to figure out if it's him or if it's Highwaymen stuff.
Oh, yeah, could be either.
Like, I know Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys.
Okay, not Highwaymen, but close.
Right. Of course, I know the song Highwayman, but that's all of them.
Yes.
I'm a Ramblin' Man. Is that just him?
Yep, that's just him. Yeah, I figured you'd know a lot more Waylon, probably than most of the other older country artists that we've done.
I would think of the four of them, Christofferson's probably the one I would know the least.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say it was the one you know the most. I was like, whoa.
No. The other three I have pretty decent knowledge of.
Yeah, that's logical. Christofferson, we talked about, he was more of a film guy anyway in a lot of ways. Well, Waylon Jennings was an interesting story. There's a lot more to him than the country music Waylon that I grew up and knew.
You knew him? Whoa.
What? Not personally, but that'd be awesome if I did. Imagine if this was an episode talking about how I knew Waylon Jennings.
Dude, I would be blown away.
That's true. Well, unfortunately, it's not that.
And then I'd be mad at you.
For never introducing you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the trick to that is that Waylon Jennings kind of died when I was 5.
Yeah. But that's why it was so impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we never talked. But his career it started in a whole different genre that I didn't even realize. And I was really blown away to find some of this stuff out. Ready to learn?
Oh, yeah.
No. Put on your learning hat.
Oh, hang on. Let me find it.
Gosh, what's that?
Got it.
Great. Learning hat on. Well, hopefully it's a cowboy hat for this Outlaw Country episode. Waylon Arnold Jennings was born on June 15th, 1937 in Littlefield, Texas. That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
He predates World War II. His birth name was actually Wayland, like with a D, Wayland, but his parents discovered that was the name of a nearby Baptist university, and they said, oh, we don't want that. We don't want him to be affiliated with that. People will get confused. And so they made the easy change to Waylon, Waylon. It took some adjustment, too. He actually was not the biggest fan. He said, I didn't like Wayland. It sounded so corny and hillbilly, but it's been good to me, and I'm pretty well at peace with it now. He learned to love it. Honestly, it's a great name. It's a great name. Waylon Jennings, 10 out of 10 country musician name. Who Who of the Highwaymen do you think has the best name?
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's a hard question, isn't it?
I mean, Christopher's son's just so fun to say.
Yeah, so many of the same syllables.
I mean, Johnny Cash is Cash Money.
JR, too. I like Johnny Cash. Honestly, he probably gets my vote because his name wasn't Johnny, it was JR, and he lengthened it to Johnny.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much all Johnnies are typically lengthened, right?
No. I mean, they start as Jonathans, then they get shortened to John, and then stretched back out to Johnny.
Oh, do they? Do they?
I would think so.
Are most people named John actually named Jonathan, you think? Or do they just name John?
No, I think it's Jonathans, mostly. There are exceptions, of course.
Fair enough. I do like Willie Nelson, too. But mainly just for the Willie. The Nelson's kind of whatever.
Yeah, it's a fine name. It doesn't have the same kind of ring to it, but it's iconic because it belongs to him.
He sounds like he should be the most fun of the group. And, I mean, he kind of is.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. That's true. But Wayland, he's pretty good, too. He made good use of his name. We'll get to that in a little bit, but Lil Wayland learned how to play guitar when he was 8 years old. His mother actually taught him the basics. He grew up with all the classic country guys, like Bob Wills and Hank Williams Sr. and Ernest Tubb. All those guys, I mean, that you would listen to as a kid growing up in the 1940s. He would actually play guitar at family get-togethers, and he would go around to local civics and service unions and talent shows in his preteen years, just out there having fun, just wailing it up. He auditioned for a standing slot on the radio when he was just 14 years old, and the local Littlefield FM radio station absolutely loved him. He got a weekly half-hour radio show on the air, which inspired him to start his own band that he called the Texas Longhorns. But, as you can imagine, one of the founding fathers of outlaw country music, one of the people on the outlaw country music Mount Rushmore, he was not very well behaved all the time. He actually was forced to drop out of school for disciplinary infractions when he was 16, and he took all kinds of odd jobs while he pursued music. He ran the family creamery, which is an interesting job. He drove some trucks. He got into some truck driving accidents, like the whole shebang. Waylon Jennings, Texas agriculture industry guy. His radio show eventually expanded from a half hour into a 6-hour slot by 1956. By the time he was like 19, he would play a lot of country, both classic and contemporary country. All the old stuff he grew up with, then all the newer stuff that was coming out in the late 50s. And then he would close with a couple hours of various stuff like Chuck Berry, Little Richard, rockabilly, rock and roll, the places that music was kind of going. He started getting really popular as a DJ to the point of doing like advertising and even public appearances and live performances. People came to see Waylon Jennings the DJ more than Waylon Jennings the musician. But he was able to record some demos at the radio station with his band, and one day he had the lucky fortune to meet the absolute legend, Buddy Holly, who happened to live in the area. And this is the part of his story I had no clue about. Do you know Buddy Holly?
Ooh.
Well, that's the Weezer version, but yeah, you do. Okay. At least you know what he looks like.
Yeah, I know Buddy Holly.
Yeah, Peggy Sue.
Please.
Well, Buddy and Waylon start hanging out. Kind of a dynamic duo. Waylon started to show up to Buddy's performances, and soon, Buddy says, "Hey, Waylon, do you want to play bass guitar on tour with my band?" What a gig, right? Waylon's like, oh my gosh. I mean, he can tell Buddy Holly's like the future of music. He says, absolutely, I'll join your band. So Waylon hits the road with Buddy Holly in January of 1959, 21, early 20s. Their first stop on the tour was in Wisconsin on January 23rd, 1959. The tour rolled on for a second stop in Clear Lake, Iowa on February 2nd. So it's winter, it's cold, and the venues that they had booked for the next shows were really far apart. And because it was so cold, the buses were breaking down in the winter. Lots of mechanical problems. Drummer Carl Bunch even got frostbite. The band is really struggling. And so Buddy Holly says, we're not driving. We're not going to drive to the next gig. It's too far away. It's too cold. And he charters a small 4-seater plane for their next gig in Minnesota. Waylon was a chivalrous man. He was supposed to be on the plane, and he said, actually, I'll take a ride on the unheated bus. I'll give my seat to J.P. Richardson, more commonly known as the Big Bopper, because he was sick and he was cold from the last bus leg, and Waylon didn't want him to deal with that anymore. And that was fate.
Yeah.
Waylon and Buddy Holly were kind of ribbing each other and making fun, teasing each other. Buddy Holly said, I hope your old bus freezes up. And Waylon retorted, I hope your old plane crashes. And
he got his wish.
Yeah, he felt a lot of guilt about that. That's the tale of how Waylon Jennings was very nearly a victim of the infamous plane crash that's come to be known as the day the music died.
Yeah.
On February 3rd, 1959. Every passenger on the plane died.
Yeah.
You've probably heard of the day the music died. Even if you're just a casual, if you don't know Buddy Holly or Richie Valens or the Big Bopper, like probably you know it because at the very least, the song American Pie references that day heavily. The day the music died, it's kind of a date that will live in infamy. It was just brutal. It just cut short the careers of the most promising up-and-comers. Wayland, like I said, he felt a lot of survivor's guilt and such over the incident.
Sure.
It was definitely not an insubstantial factor in his own eventual substance abuse. He would actually go on to write the song called The Stage, Stars in Heaven, to commemorate the trio of musicians that had passed away in the accident. So that's wild. Waylon Jennings was Buddy Holly's bass player. I had no clue. Waylon left his radio gig after this, and he moved to Arizona with his family. He started up another radio gig at their local station, and he got offered a gig to play live in a new club near Phoenix, kind of a standing residency. He put together a new band called the Wailers, Waylors. Fantastic name. Hall of Name level name.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. Waylon and the Wailers. Excellent. And he started releasing music with them in 1961. His music wasn't having a lot of success because he was a country singer trying to sing on a folk label. But country singer Bobby Bare, another of Outlaw Country's pioneers, he heard Wayland's song on the radio, and he recorded them on like a tape to pass along to the absolute icon, Chet Atkins. Chet Atkins hears Wayland, and he loves him. He had Wayland signed to RCA Victor in 1965. That got Wayland rolling on the country charts, where he arguably belongs, and that sent Wayland into an era of making music that's called like Nashville sound music. It's not really country like you think of it today. Definitely not outlaw country, but it's like people call it countrypolitan. It's country at its core, but it's fleshed out with orchestral sounds and sweeping like arrangements. It's plush, and it's not three chords in the truth. The Nashville sound is a very different kind of country music. For that half decade that he started out in Nashville, Wayland was shacked up with a guy by the name of Johnny Cash. And of course, Wayland continued hardcore touring, and with it, hardcore drug use. But by 1972, he was fully on the path to developing his own outlaw country style. And in 1973, he put out an album that would be instrumental in establishing outlaw country as a genre, the one we're talking about today, Honky Tonk Heroes. I mean, it's really pivoting the sound and the style of country music. Waylon Jennings is just signed with RCA Records, courtesy of Chet Atkins, and he was lucky to be able to keep creative control and still use his band, the Wailers. So he was all set, ready to go. Waylon also had just met a guy by the name of Billy Joe Shaver at a 4th of July party down in Texas. Shaver was a songwriter, and he was playing his own stuff kind of quietly to himself in a trailer. Waylon Jennings overheard him and said, "Whoa, okay, that was great. You got any more?" Shaver said, "Yeah, of course I got more." And Waylon struck a deal with him. He said, "Okay, you just played a song called Willy the Wandering Gypsy and Me. I really liked that. You play another song, and if I like it, I'll record it, and you can pitch me another song. And if I like that one, I'll record it, and you can pitch me another song." He just said, "You can play until I hear one that I don't like." At which point, he would kick Billy Joe Shaver out. But after like 4 songs, Waylon Jennings just said, "Yeah, screw it. Like, I'll do a full album of your stuff. It's so good." Waylon said his songs were of a piece, and the only way you could ever understand Billy Joe was to hear his whole body of work. That's how the concept of Honky Tonk Heroes came about. Billy Joe talked the way a modern cowboy would speak if he stepped out of the West and lived today. He had a command of the Texas lingo. His world is down to earth and real as the day was long, and he wore his Lone Star birthright like a badge. And thus, Honky Tonk Heroes was born. It's the perfect blend of country and honky tonk music with Waylon's rock and roll and bass roots and outlaw image. Like, spot on. Waylon Jennings is the only man that could make this album and have it sound the way that it does and influence music the way that it did. Of course, Chet Atkins was a little apprehensive about putting out this record. I mean, Billy Joe Shaver is not a known songwriter at this point. Nobody knew his stuff. Waylon was kind of taking a gamble, and Chet Atkins wanted to take a more sure shot. But Waylon thankfully won out with his creative control, and he pulled rank on Chet and put out the album anyway, thankfully. Honky Tonk Heroes, it came out on June 25th, 1973. It ended up peaking at number 14 on the country charts and even cracked into the Billboard 200 at number 185. So that's really cool. A very successful album, even on its release. So it was a big old successful album. The success of Honky Tonk Heroes really propelled Wayland into his best and his most iconic work. It wasn't too long until he put out his records The Ramblin' Man and Dream in My Dreams. And then Are You Ready for the Country? 3 years, in fact. Just 3 short years, and he'd have all of those iconic records out. By the end of the decade, he and Willy would make Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys. He'd also sing the theme song and be cast as the narrator in The Dukes of Hazzard, and of course plenty more. In the 1980s, Wayland joins up with Cash, Nelson, and Christofferson to form the Highwaymen, but of course, now that we've collected them all, you'll have to wait for their special dedicated episode to hear that part of the story. But also in the 80s, of course, Wayland is doing a ton of coke, like $1,500 a day on cocaine, which, if you translate that to $2025, that's $5,000 per day. Absolutely unbelievable numbers.
I feel like we've talked about this before, either on or off podcast.
We've talked about other people who did a lot of cocaine.
Yeah, the $5,000 per day thing. That, like, somebody else did something similar, or we've talked about Waylon Jennings doing it. One of the two. Or I have another podcast with another person that does Waylon Jennings stuff, and we've talked about it. I don't know. Am I doing $5,000 worth of cocaine right now? What's going on?
No, I don't think you are. I hope you're not.
That's a lot of cocaine. Either he's getting majorly ripped off on like cocaine prices.
No.
Or that's a lot of cocaine.
I think he probably was getting a fair deal. Well, it was $1,500 a day back in the day. So $5,000 a day now.
Still.
Yeah.
It's a lot of cocaine. That's crazy.
He racked up millions of dollars in debt. He was smoking 6 packs of cigarettes a day. He's just putting himself physically through the ringer. But thankfully, this is around the time his son Shooter Jennings was born, and that was a major motivating force in his life. After he was born, Wayland got clean, stopped using drugs altogether, and even earned his GED. Unfortunately, though, that rough living had its consequences. By the turn of the millennium, his health took a turn for the worse after all that rough living. He put out 46 studio albums, and he recorded his third and final live album, Never Say Die, at Nashville's Ryman Auditorium in January of 2000. But then he started to have a lot of complications, major complications, from his long-standing type 2 diabetes. He needed surgery, he had a foot amputated, and ultimately, on February 13th, 2002, Wayland passed away in his sleep due to complications from diabetes. He was 64 years old. So, that's a tragedy. Also, though, you might hear new Waylon Jennings music sooner than you think. His son Shooter claims, and it's verified, I've looked it up, it's legit, there's a new album of unreleased Wayland material from the 70s and 80s. They've compiled it into this collection that they're calling Songbird, and it's set to come out in October of 2025. So what are the odds? We're getting a new Wayland album this year. So that rocks. As for his awards and accolades, Wayland made it into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 2001 and the Texas Country Music Hall of Fame in 1999. He's got 5 CMA awards, 2 Grammys on 13 nominations, 2 Academy of Country Music Awards, and lots more. The Nashville Songwriters Festival bestowed a posthumous Lifetime Achievement Award in 2007, and Rolling Stone named Wayland the 7th greatest country artist of all time in 2017. So that's awesome. In Littlefield, Texas, there's a boulevard that bears his name, and more than the accolades, like Wayland, he's a stalwart in country music. He's an inspiration. Everyone from Eric Church to Travis Tritt to Hank Jr. to Steve Earle claims Wayland is like a major, major influence. And of course he is. I mean, Outlaw Country, it's a whole subgenre that Wayland is like a pillar of. So that's awesome. I'm so excited to talk about Honky Tonk Heroes, get your thoughts on it, and compare it to all the other artists that we've talked about in this era of country music so far. But before we do that, we got to get to some Factor Spin. Hope the Mixtaper is ready to go, our resident Honky Tonk villain.
Hey, it's me, the Mixtaper.
Hello, Mixtaper. How you doing this week? You all ready for Outlaw Country?
I'm already an outlaw, and I do enjoy the country, so let's do it.
Fantastic. Let's do it. What sorts of facts are you bringing us today? Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be dastards.
Mine insured it.
She ensured that you did grow up to be a dastard?
Yeah.
Seems accurate.
This week, I've got tales of DEA raids, giant birds, motorcycles, and presidents.
Oh, mix-ups.
We might have a presidential mix-up on our hand.
Well, let's start with giant birds, if I could pick. I don't know if you've got a plan for this.
I don't.
Okay.
He once got stuck in a big bird costume.
Stuck in a big bird costume?
Yeah.
We've had a couple. Why is it always the country guys that get stuck in costumes? Randy Travis was stuck in a snowman. I don't know who else. We've had a couple stuck costumes. Now, for Randy Travis, he could get out of the costume, but he got the costume stuck in a doorway, right?
Yeah.
Is Waylon Jennings stuck in a doorway as Big Bird? Or is he stuck in the costume, like can't unbecome Big Bird.
Can't unbecome Big Bird.
Well, that makes sense. Have you ever seen a diagram, like a cross-section of the way Big Bird's puppeteer has to stand?
No, but now I want to. Hang on.
Dude.
Big Bird costume diagram.
Well, he has to put his hand all the way up above his head to be the beak the whole time.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Dude, that's some upper arm strength. That's crazy.
Uh-huh. So I can imagine getting stuck up there and not being able to put your hand down through the neck, like some complications arising from the way that you're trying to portray Big Bird. Why is Wayland in a Big Bird costume?
He wanted to try it on.
He wanted to try it on. Are these the times that he was on Sesame Street and he said, "Can I be Big Bird?"
Yeah.
He was on Sesame Street, what, twice?
At least once.
At least once. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he sang a duet with Big Bird in Sesame Street Presents, Follow That Bird in 1985.
Follow That Bird. This is not where I thought we were going when you said giant bird. I mean, having talked about Johnny Cash so much, my mind flashed back to the ostrich attack. We're in a very different place, so I'm still trying to calibrate.
All the Highwaymen have encounters with big birds,
right,
just in different ways.
3 of Johnny Cash's facts were about birds. I don't know. And shoot, Christopherson flew that helicopter. That's a big bird.
Fair enough.
So he finishes singing his song with Big Bird, and he says, "Hey, can I wear your skin?" Big Bird goes, "Wow, sure." Did he get permission, or did he just do it?
Yep, that's exactly how it went. Totally.
I knew it. Spin.
Word for word.
No, but did he have permission?
Yeah, he had permission. He's like, "I'd like to try it on." And they're like, "Yeah, sure, you're Waylon Jennings.
You're a big bird. Get in there." How'd he get stuck? I mean, weren't people there to help him out then?
Well, before we get to how he got stuck, yeah, he put the costume on and then proceeded to try and play the guitar with it.
Impossible. That'd be really hard.
Yeah.
Big Bird only has like 4 fingers.
Yeah. I mean, how many strings?
Well, yeah, there's 6 strings on a guitar. And well, I guess you'd only play a guitar with your 4 fingers anyway because the thumb's behind it. But still.
Exactly.
Oh, I lied. He's got 3 fingers.
But yeah, no, the harder problem was, actually being able to see and, hold the guitar.
Yes, it is hard to see. Big Bird's, he's got, just a hole in his chest or something, right?
Yeah, according to this diagram you've had me look up, yeah, that's exactly what it is. There's a video monitor and a little camera.
Yeah. Muppet puppeteers are a different breed.
He controls Big Bird's eyes with only his pinky.
Yeah, he pulls on a little trigger, and it moves Big Bird's eyes. Uh-huh. I can't believe you didn't look more into Big Bird's anatomy.
I didn't.
He's a fascinating puppet.
It's pretty crazy.
And how'd he get stuck? Can we get there now? He's trying to play the guitar.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
He went to take it back off and they couldn't get the top half off.
That's not good. How long was he stuck in there?
Not long. The crew was able to get him out of it, but I guess here it says that some of the strapping or whatever holds the 2 pieces together got stuck in the feathers.
Oh, wonder if that happens often to the normal Big Bird.
Wouldn't be surprised. A lot of feathers on that dude. But he's like, yeah, for a brief moment, I had to imagine what my life would be like as Big Bird. And I don't know why you would jump to that conclusion from hey, the strap is stuck to I'll never get out of this thing.
I'll have to walk around as Big Bird. I won't fit into cars.
It's a wild leap to make, but he made it, supposedly.
He made it. I know that Wayland was on Sesame Street, so the real question here is just, did he get in a Big Bird costume and not get out of it?
The real question is what the fact was. The fact wasn't, was he on Sesame Street?
Well, yeah, that's true. I just mean, I can confirm that. But do you think if anyone went to Sesame Street and said, "Can I jump in Big Bird?" they'd say yes? Surely not. Did they make a special exception for Wayland? Or would they just do this for everybody? Surely you can't just let everyone jump into Big Bird.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's what you have to decide.
It's so tough. I don't think this is true. I don't think he got stuck in the Big Bird costume. I am sure he sang with Big Bird and it was beautiful. And I'm sure he maybe even asked and said, "I always wanted to be in Big Bird." And they said, "Tough luck." They said, "Flock off."
This is a spin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yep. He was in the special Sesame Street Presents Follow That Bird, where he plays a turkey farmer driving a pickup truck who encounters a hitchhiking Big Bird.
What? Big Bird is always hitchhiking in things.
Yeah, I know.
In the Muppet movie, Big Bird's hitchhiking. And who's got space? Who's got a car big enough to take this Big Bird?
Apparently the turkey farmer. But yeah, first he's baffled by the giant yellow bird, but old Wayland can't leave Big Bird stranded, so he gives him a lift and some sage advice. And eventually starts singing a country duet called Ain't No Road Too Long.
That's so quaint.
This is a fun little tidbit. While on set, he does strike up a friendship with Carol Spinney. the Big Bird puppeteer.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Didn't even think about that.
So-
Didn't even think about the connection between Factor Spin and Carol Spinney.
Yeah, I thought about just making the fact Waylon Jennings is friends with Spinney.
That'd be pretty good. But that does seem true, so.
Yeah, then it'd be a true fact. And I just like the idea of him being stuck in a costume.
You keep trying. One of these days you'll sneak a...
One of these days it'll be true.
That would be wild. But it wasn't true about Randy Travis, and it's not true about old Wayland.
So would you like to go to motorcycles, DEA raids, or presidential mix-ups?
Well, we got to save the mix-up for last. I think we should go to DEA raids next.
DEA raids. Waylon Jennings is the inspiration for a classic TV gag.
A classic TV gag? What's the gag, first of all?
I use the word gag for lack of a better term. I'm sure there is a better one. I just don't have it.
Okay. Like a trope?
Trope probably was a better term. Look at that. Why'd you have my term?
What? I don't even know what I'm talking about yet.
You made me use gag when you were holding on to my trope the whole time? Shouldn't ever lend out my words to people. I never give them back.
I guess not. What's his trope?
Anyway, the thing where like whenever there's like a raid, the people always try to flush the drugs down the toilet.
Okay.
That's Waylon Jennings.
That's Waylon Jennings. That also seems like most people when they are caught in a raid with drugs on their person, right?
Well, it's most real life raids that I don't think you usually have the time. They're kind of like shock and awe, busted in.
Well, yeah, that's a great point.
But in the things, they're always like, oh, the cops are coming. They're gonna be here in like 5 minutes. Quick, flush the drugs or whatever, right?
Well, sometimes it happens that way.
That's how it's always portrayed in shows. How much it happens in real life, don't know. But apparently, the inspiration, that started it all.
Big Bird.
In 1977, Waylon Jennings had a DA raid. And then in like the 1980s, some TV director like did that, recreated that for his show, and is quoted as like it being based off of the Waylon Jennings raid, and that's kind of just always been the trope.
Wow.
Ever since.
Did Wayland get away with it? I mean, obviously people know about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. In 1977, federal agents burst into his Nashville recording studio because they thought he had a bunch of drugs, probably $5,000 a day's worth.
Well, maybe something like that. Not unlikely at most points in his career.
And as they stormed in, armed with what would end up being a flawed search warrant.
Oh, DEA Nide.
Wayland and his drummer frantically ditched the evidence. Several vials of cocaine and a bag of powder were flushed down the toilet. And as they bust into the bathroom, they found a smug Wayland leaning up against a flushing toilet. And he said, if it ever was here, it ain't here no more.
Okay. Wow. So how many times has this been used then as the trope? I mean, I guess it's a lot.
I couldn't tell you. That's like the go-to how to get rid of drugs during a raid thing.
Where did he get it from? Just his idea? Just quick, how to get it out of here?
Again, maybe it's just what most people think to do, but it's what he did. And apparently he started the trope.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I think I believe this. It'd be actually pretty funny if the reverse is true and someone did it on TV and then Wayland took it from TV. That'd be awesome. However, I can see Wayland inspiring this. Sure. I'm going to say this one's a fact.
This is a true spin.
Oh, dang it. It's not true.
Yeah, it's not true. Well, it is true, except for him inspiring the trope. Actually, you had it right there. It's probably the other way around. That trope's been around a lot longer than 1977.
Well, that makes sense.
But yeah, he did indeed play a high-stakes game of hide the cocaine with the DEA, and he won.
By flushing it. Yeah.
And also a flawed search warrant, but flushing it.
Well, yeah, but that was a little bit out of his hands. That was more just dumb luck.
Actually, his song, Don't You Think This Outlaw Bit's Done Got Out of Hand, is apparently a reference to that event.
Nice. That's cool. Breaking the law. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
So, up next, we've got a motorcycle fact.
We sure do.
We haven't had a motorcycle fact since Cher.
Motorcycles, yes. We're also got ourselves a Buddy Holly fact.
Oh, a Buddy Holly fact.
Because this is Waylon Jennings fired up Buddy Holly's motorcycle in a hotel room.
Oh, wow. That's fun. So, you picture a motorcycle today. That's very different than what motorcycles were like in 1959, right? So, just for starters, there's that. But he's in a hotel room with Buddy Holly.
No.
No?
No.
He's in a hotel room with Buddy Holly's motorcycle.
Yes.
Why? Why? What? My assumption was that...
It was a birthday gift for him.
Okay, it's not Buddy Holly's motorcycle yet. It's a future...
No. Sorry, him was a little ambiguous. My bad. It was a birthday gift for Waylon.
Buddy Holly got Waylon Jennings a motorcycle.
No.
My gosh. Who's him? What are you talking about?
Well, him is Wayland. Buddy Holly's motorcycle was a gift to Waylon Jennings for Waylon Jennings' birthday.
Yeah, that's the second thing that I said.
In 1979, after Buddy Holly was already dead, Buddy Holly's old bandmates gave Waylon his old motorcycle for his birthday.
Oh, the motorcycle that formerly belonged to Buddy Holly was gifted to Waylon Jennings in the 70s.
Yeah.
Okay, we got there. And they gifted it to him in a hotel room?
Well, yeah, he was in a hotel room when he got it, yeah.
And they brought it up the elevator and rolled it on in?
Well, actually, he was already in the hotel, and then they walked him into the hotel room, and it was there, and he was like, oh, surprise!
I'm sure that's exactly what they said and how they sounded.
Yeah.
Chirping like crickets. So Wayland says, wow, thank you so much. Can't believe you've done this.
Well, he does what any self-respecting outlaw would do, and hopped on and cranked it up.
Yeah.
Right then and there, indoors, in the hotel room.
Revving the engine. Cool. Do the neighbors complain? Does the desk know about it? What happens?
Well, it was at like 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that, so probably.
Of course. Of course it was. Not motorcycle revving time.
Yeah.
Quiet hours start at like 10.
If there was a sign that said quiet hours start at 10, motorcycle revving hours end at 5, or something like that, I'd be like, what?
That'd be awesome. Well, you know, because there's a sign, somebody did it, and that's Wayland.
Yeah, supposedly.
That's cool. I can't believe it would still run after all those years. That's great. Probably kept it in good shape.
Yeah, it was a 1958 Ariel Cyclone, so the motorcycle itself wasn't that old.
What a generous gift.
But is it true?
Well, is it true? I'm going to say yes. I think this one's true. He's an outlaw. He can't be following hotel curfew.
This is a true fact.
Oh, yeah. Knew it all along.
Apparently, he talks about it in an autobiography.
That's cool. Love that.
Don't know which one. Maybe there's only one. I don't know. Just seeing that here on this article.
Wonder if he had it for long. Like, wonder what happened to it. And if you get Buddy Holly's motorcycle, do you ride it? Or do you just keep it in storage? Not in storage, but like on display. You know what I mean. Do you take it out or don't you? I don't know.
Are you ready for a presidential mix-up?
You know it. Love a presidential mix-up.
Waylon Jennings had a presidential mix-up.
Of course. Yeah. Okay.
Gotta have the title.
Yeah. It's important to the lore, I guess. What president is he getting mixed up with? He was alive for a lot of them.
Yeah. President Jimmy Carter.
Oh, again. He's becoming a high ratio of presidential mix-ups. And how is he mixed up with Jimmy Carter?
Drugs.
Oh, there was a war on those back in the day.
There was.
I hear Waylon Jennings was drafted to fight in the war on drugs, but on the side of drugs. Okay, what is the deal? How's he encounter Jimmy Carter with regards to drugs?
He smoked marijuana on the roof of the White House with him.
That's pretty baller. That's really something.
Now, to be fair, there is a bit of a blurring of the lines here.
Okay.
Because in interviews, Jimmy Carter himself, President Carter, said it was actually his son up on the roof with Waylon Jennings.
Oh, yeah, of course it was.
But other people, including Waylon Jennings, apparently said it was the president. So either the president or the president's son is what we'll go with here.
Mr. Carter was smoking marijuana on the roof.
Yeah.
That's wild. What's Wayland doing at the White House?
I don't know why he was there.
Oh, just hanging out? Okay.
But apparently they smoked a fat Austin torpedo. Is what they smoked. I don't know why he was there. Probably for something.
You don't know why he was there.
Getting some sort of award or to perform. But I don't know. I don't know why he was there.
That's suspicious. Really weird.
Suspicious? It's suspicious.
And we don't know whether it was Carter or Carter's son. Of course, Carter would deny it.
Yeah, of course he's going to deny it, right? But in the documentary, Jimmy Carter, rock and roll president, he says that his son, Chip Carter, was the one up on the roof.
He needs to chip off the old block, yeah.
But yeah, so, and then in that same autobiography that Wayland wrote, he just references an anonymous member of the White House. He does not, probably for legal reasons, wasn't allowed to name drop who it was, but he's hinted at it being the president, so.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Jimmy Carter doesn't strike me as a marijuana smoking guy.
Yeah, so maybe it's the son. I don't know.
Well, that's true.
Like I said, either one.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't believe it. I think this is a spin. Why would Waylon Jennings be at the White House in the 80s? I don't know. Plus, I mean, when was Shooter born? Surely this is around the time he's getting clean. Maybe Wayland's not even smoking at all.
So you're officially locking in spin?
I am leaning officially spin. Let's see.
Like I said, it can be the president or the president's son and still be true because I don't have confirmation either way.
Wow, I wish I knew when Shooter was born, because then he stopped smoking, and that was in the 80s. Ugh. I think it's a spin. I don't think it's true.
He thinks it's a spin. For a bonus point, before I even announce the answer here, do you think this is true about any of the Highwaymen?
Do I think a fact about smoking marijuana is true about any of the Highwaymen?
With President Jimmy Carter or his son on the roof of the White House.
That's a good point. And I guess I don't believe Jimmy Carter would smoke marijuana. Maybe his son. But if you could tell me almost anything about Willie Nelson smoking marijuana, and I'd have to believe it. Like, that's his thing.
I'm just saying, if you think this is true about any of them, you can declare that now. And if you're right, you'll get a bonus point. Or it's a completely made up fact, or it's true about Waylon Jennings, and this is all just smoke and mirrors. But
It's a lot of smoke. I don't know about the mirrors.
fat Austin torpedoes.
Yeah. So I think this is not true about Wayland. So we'll start there.
Yeah.
I think if it is true about someone, and I guess that can't count against me if I'm wrong.
No, it doesn't count against you.
Oh, fucking Willie. He's a smoker.
So you're going to say this is not true about Wayland, and it is true about Willie Nelson.
Yeah, and Willie's got ties to Austin and the Armadillo World Headquarters. I mean, to call a blunt an Austin torpedo, that makes sense to me from Willie.
A fat Austin torpedo?
Johnny Cash is from Arkansas. Christopherson, I don't know if he spent much time in Austin. Yeah, I think I'll lock that in.
This is a true fact about Willie Nelson.
Oh, yeah, okay. So I'm telling you, man, Willie, you could lie about Willie smoking weed in any way, and I'd have to say fact. And
Listen, I really wanted to save it for a future potential Highwayman one, but it was just too much fun. And I know you like to read autobiographies.
you just never know when I'll stumble upon something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, let's just use it. It's fun.
It is fun. That's wild. Leave it to Willie, you know?
The funnest one of the group. By name.
That's true. At least according to Connor, and apparently you. Well, I don't know. I don't usually get bonus points. I don't even know how to mark that on the score sheet. I might just not even count it as a bonus point.
Yeah, I really, it was probably more of like another Mixtaper buck. I think that's like your second or third Mixtaper buck.
I think that makes sense. Yes. Easier to keep track of as currency than a point on the score sheet that doesn't have a bonus mechanic built in.
Yeah.
Love it. That's so fun. What a presidential mix-up.
And that means you're the winner of this episode, 3-1.
So it does. Wow. Thanks, Wayland.
3 and a Mixtaper buck to 1.
3. That's right.
Taking my money, taking my words. We got a real outlaw on our hands over here.
So we do. And it's you, but that's fine. You're a villain.
I'm a villain, not an outlaw.
Yeah. Well,
Outlaw means that they're actively looking for me.
I guess that's a reasonable point. We got to talk about the Honky Tonk Heroes anyway.
Time for me to skedaddle.
So it is. Enjoy your skedaddling.
I've got some stuff to flush down the toilet. Not drugs, just random stuff I want to see if it's flushable.
Oh, random stuff. I thought you were going to say, the normal things that you flush down the toilet.
I know those are flushable.
I would hope so. Okay, get out of here. Go flush your flush.
Yeah!
Weird. Hey, welcome back, Connor.
Hello.
Let's take a look at this album art.
What do we got here? Oh, look at that.
Look at that. It's a gosh darn crew in this recording studio.
And they're all laughing.
Having a good old time.
Except the guy back there behind the piano. He doesn't look like he's laughing.
No, he's just behind a guitar case, but he does look serious.
Well, what's the guitar case sitting on?
You're asking a good question. A table? A bench?
Oh, okay.
Everyone does look like they're having a great time.
Except him.
Yeah. Maybe he's the one that the Honky Tonk Heroes needed saving.
Yeah.
Apparently, Billy Joe Shaver is in a hat on the left. That's the guy that wrote all the songs.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Very interesting group of people. Nobody seems to have a definitive grasp on who all of them are from what I've looked up, but it's a group of people that made this album, and it's nice to know they had a good time doing it. It's a feel-good album for sure, just in the way it sounds. It scratches a real Outlaw Country itch for me. Up first is the title track, Honky Tonk Heroes.
Title track!
Fantastic. Honky Tonk Heroes is such a good song.
It's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is one that Shaver was not sure about the arrangement on it. He heard them start to play it in this slow style, and he was all mad. He said, you're butchering my song. This is the way I wrote it. And then they said, relax, dude. Like, we got it. We know what we're doing. And then when they kicked it up into the more up-tempo version in the second half of the song, he's like, oh, I get it now. Like, I see you were doing it right. Just had to have a little faith.
Gotta have faith in your Honky Tonk Heroes.
You do.
Can't micromanage your heroes.
No, you can't. They say don't ever micromanage your heroes.
But you can meet them.
You can meet them. Yeah, that's fine. What a song. He just talks about the nostalgia of being in a honky tonk, right? Of living his life in there. That's where he spent all his time. Piano rolled blues and danced holes in my shoes. There weren't another way to be. For honky tonk heroes like me, he's just tearing it up at his local bar, local honky tonk, on a Friday night. Honestly, this sounds more like people that tore it up in the honky tonks on a weeknight than a Friday night, but, you know.
You would know.
Yeah, I've spent so much time, so many weeknights in honky tonks. I'd know.
Usually I'm like, hey, you're late for the recording. You're like, yeah, sorry, I'm still at the honky tonk.
I was out being a honky tonk hero again, man. Sometimes the world needs a honky tonk hero. And who am I to deny them me?
Not the honky tonk hero we needed, but the honky tonk hero we deserved.
No doubt. What do you think about it? I just like the flavor of it. That slight rock and roll edge, that outlaw country, the twang, the punch, the grit. The second half of Honky Tonk Heroes really has it all.
Yeah, it does. You can tell why he was in the group he was with. You can hear the Johnny Cash influence. You can hear some Willie Nelson influence.
Yes. Yeah, all of it rolled into one. And he's got such a rich voice. I love his voice. Just there's such a unique quality to it. A real depth. He's got good range, but it's still deep. Clear as a bell. I just like Waylon a lot. I just think the song has a great melody. It's a good nostalgia song. It's a great opening track.
Now, are you familiar with other Wayland albums?
Yes, I have ranked and scored Are You Ready for the Country?
Yeah, because I noticed at the top of the episode you said you'd only been listening to this for a month and a half.
Yeah.
But you talk about it like you've been listening to Waylon Jennings for a long time. So that's why I was like, maybe he's done other albums.
I have. Yeah, I did Are You Ready for the Country? I know all the big Wayland singles. For months and months, I worked in a barbecue joint where Wayland was pretty heavily on rotation. I know a lot of Wayland, mostly by the singles, but as albums go, yeah, I had listened to Are You Ready for the Country, liked it a lot, and I thought about doing the episode on Are You Ready for the Country, but the consensus on the internet seemed to be that Honky Tonk Heroes, Dreamin' My Dreams, and Ramblin' Man were all up there as really good albums too. And so, before doing the episode, I wanted to check some of those out, just to make sure we were doing the best we could. And I do think Honky Tonk Heroes was the pick for the podcast over...
Yeah, so you looked up online and just had to believe the internet.
Well, I just don't believe, but I trust but verify, right? But I really did love Honky Tonk Heroes. I mean, there's good stuff on Are You Ready for the Country, too, like the title track, but MacArthur Park is just a weird song I wasn't prepared to talk about. You know, there's so much. Plus, Honky Tonk Heroes is kind of a seminal album in the evolution and development of Outlaw Country.
Sure.
Being one of the first of those albums that I've mentioned. So, you know, I like to start at the beginning of things or pick albums that are pivotal or important, and this one checks all those boxes.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you know, I think an album like Honky Tonk Heroes is just good for old five and dimers like me.
What is a five and dimer?
A five and dimer. Good question. A five and dime, it's like a dollar store from back in the day. Instead of dollars, you'd spend nickels and dimes. So they call it a five and dime. And so by saying he's an old five and dimer, he's just somebody that used to go to all the old dollar stores. He's just an old timer.
He's just somebody that's old enough to remember, you know, like, oh, back in my day, you know, it only cost a five and a dime for that, not this dollar crap.
Yeah, right. Inflation, out of control. That's what he's talking about. He's just an old guy from a different time. It's a beautiful song. A ballad.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah. Some real steel on there. This is another chance to just like kind of indulge in the richness of his voice. It's such a slow song, and there's not really a lot of lyrics.
It is a very bold move to rhyme dimers with rhymers.
That's true. He is a rhymer. A rhymer and a five and dimer. He also rhymes catalog buyers and old five and dimers. He kind of relates it back to the shopping thing. I don't know. Just good luck and fast bucks are too far and too few between. Times aren't what they used to be. Mm-hmm. Things are just different, and I'm still adjusting to it.
Yeah, and just I like the ending verse there. That it's taking me so long, and now that I know I believe, all that I do or say is all I ever will be.
Yeah. Too much ain't enough for old five and dimers like me.
Yeah.
And more than that, an old five and dimer is all I intended to be. I'm a simple man. I don't want anything more than what I've had. You know, that's all I want. I've got it. I'm good. It's a really good song.
Who harmonizes with him at the end?
No idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I really just think it's kind of reminding me of Randy Travis and Storms of Life. That's the vibes that I get from old five and dimers.
Digging up some bones.
That reminds me of digging up bones when you say that, but you know, literally the song Storms of Life is what I meant.
Oh.
Not just the album.
Gotcha.
Yeah, on one hand, it's like digging up bones. On the other hand, is a golden band. What did you think of Willy the Wandering Gypsy and Me? This is the song that won Wayland over to Billy Joe Shaver's Songwriting Ways.
Weird that this one's called Willy the Wandering Gypsy and Me, and it went to Wayland, not Willy.
Well, what's not about two Willies? There's one Willy, that's the Wandering Gypsy, and there's one Wayland.
That's fair.
Yeah, right. Willy's a different character. There's some real lyrics in here. Willy rosins his riggins, laid back his wages. It's just about a man, blowing in the wind, just doing his own thing, going his own way. Willy is a free spirit. And I think it's just a beautiful song. When we get to that chorus, Willy, da 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 da. It's just really powerful. It's a really good example of Billy Joe Shaver's character work. We talked a lot about characters on Chris Christopherson's albums, but Wayland does it too. He doesn't do it as often, but definitely he's got the ability to tell a story. And Willy the Wandering Gypsy is a great example of that.
It's a great example, yeah.
You're as wild as a Texas Blue Norther.
What does that mean?
Great question. A Blue Norther, known as a Texas Norther, is a fast-moving cold front marked by a rapid drop in temperature.
Oh.
It's a big old storm.
That's cool.
Reckon we're gonna ramble till hell freezes over.
From the Texas Blue Norther.
Do you ever realize, especially Wayland does this a lot, and a lot of country artists are guilty of it too, nobody's ever rambling. They're only ramblin'. No G.
Yeah, I think we talked about that on a different episode.
I think we did too.
Yeah, it's always rambling.
Always rambling.
I think just because the ing it doesn't sound good to sing. Right? It's one of those mouth sounds that doesn't sound pleasant.
No, it doesn't. But he rambles. And wandering, he says wandering, he can be rambling. But Willy the Ramblin' Gypsy in me doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's nice. I like the balance we're striking here of up-tempo and slow. Honky Tonk Heroes did slow and then kind of bounced us up. Five and Dimer slowed us down. Willy the Wandering Gypsy is almost like in the middle, but it's got a big chorus that kind of keeps you going. Lowdown Freedom brings us right back up again.
Yeah, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, it's that classic kind of country up-tempo situation.
Like them big wheels all be rolling.
That's right. Lowdown Freedom has one of my favorite choruses to this point on the album. And this is another song. This song kind of describes Wayland's lifestyle. I mean, he got around a little bit. Long-haired girl beside me, sleeping quiet, never knowing by tomorrow she'll be one more thing I'm going to leave behind. He did that a lot. And, oh, man, there's just so many good lyrics. Like the big wheels, I'll be rolling. I'd rather leave here knowing that I'd made the fool of love before it made the fool of me.
Yeah, and I mean, just the hit of that chorus, the lowdown freedom.
Oh, it's great. Very satisfying song. I do think Wayland probably lived his life getting the better of love before it got the better of him.
At the very least, he got the better of the DEA.
That's true. Flush. He walked into love and said, hey, if it was here, it ain't here no more. But there's kind of a turn in it, too. He says, tell me why I'm going to leave and I don't really want to go. He says, freedom, you cost me. You're as empty as my pockets. He pursues this freedom thinking it's going to be satisfaction and fulfillment, and he ends up finding himself empty. And I think that's really a really cool story, a really nice arc for the telling of this song. Up next is my favorite song about my favorite city in Nebraska. Well, top 2 favorite city.
Let's say, whoa, what's your favorite?
I don't know if I have a favorite song or a favorite city in Nebraska. I haven't really been to any of them. But Omaha and Lincoln have to be both up there, right? And anyway, this song is just about Omaha. Love the melody of Omaha, especially the verses are some of the best. It's another song of lament, right? Guess I never really left at all. He is turning around and walking the other way back to Omaha. He thought he'd find fulfillment on the road, and he did not. So Omaha, Nebraska, he's coming back with the pockets full of dreams. It's the same thing that Christopherson sang about, right? On the song about coming back to his hometown after trying to make it big and failing. This song sounds less like a failure and more just like a, man, I really miss what I had before. He hitchhikes out to San Francisco and he gets a job at a bank, and there's just the hardest thing he learned is there was no easy way to get ahead behind county walls. He goes to jail and heads back to Omaha.
So here we're roaming, not roaming. So we're roaming and we're rambling.
Roaming and rambling.
But we're wandering.
Romaha.
Romaha. I like the line, got some schooling. Again, we're schooling, not schooling. Faithful by the law. As an outlaw. Doesn't sound like you're very faithful.
No. Maybe he says it, maybe he does it because he's Waylon, not wailing.
Oh.
Waylon Jennings.
But then they'd all have an O, right? Instead of an I. School on.
Yeah, it's true. Ramble on. Goodness. I like Omaha a lot. I like that story. It never gets old. It was good on Christopherson. It's good here. Up next, we get another ballad, Because You Asked Me To.
What did I ask you to?
Well, I'm asking you. What'd you think of You Asked Me To?
I guess I'll tell you since you asked me to.
Thank you.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think this whole album is maintaining about the same level of goodness.
Yes. Thankfully, that's a high level.
You could argue Honky Tonk Heroes is maybe a little higher, but for the most part, this album's been about a pretty steady level. Like, I'm not like, oh, that one was not as good, or that one was outrageously good. It's all just been good.
Yeah. Big time agreed.
Could you let the world call you a fool?
Yeah, let the world call me a fool.
That's probably, we're doing this podcast, so.
All that matters is that things are right. between me and you. And I do anything you ask me to.
Aw.
That's it.
They're not.
Oh. Well, whoops. What a hit song. You Ask Me To is such a good one. This is a Wayland co-write. It's his lone co-writing credit on the album. And it was also on the country singles chart for 15 weeks and climbed as high as number 8. Did you happen to know You Ask Me To?
I don't know, maybe.
Well, you might not have known Wayland's version of it, but I'm curious if you knew the Elvis version of it, because the King himself covered it in 1975.
Oh, yeah, probably. Then that's probably what I'm thinking.
That would make sense to me. I know you're a bit of an Elvis guy.
If I know a version, it's probably the Elvis version.
You're a bit of a subject to the King.
Yeah.
I think it's a really sweet song. He's just, the love of his life is everything to him. That's the confession. That's the point he's making. I'd do anything for you just because you ask me. And again, it has that dark turn to it. After all that I've been through, I would turn and walk away from you because you asked me to. Sad. It's a sad turn.
Yeah, it's a very sad turn.
But man, it just really goes to illustrate how much he loves her and how much he would actually do literally anything.
What was the other song we did that was like that, where it was a similar turn, where like the whole song's like a love song, but then the end of it is, oh, I'm letting you go because I love you. Or like, I'm happy to see you with somebody else. Like, I want to make you smile or something like that. Wasn't that a song we did?
Just to See You Smile with Tim McGraw.
Oh, it was Just to See You Smile, right? Yeah.
Five Head King.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
It is that kind of song, exactly. Look at us drawing parallels between country music. 3 chords and the truth. A lot of the truth kind of echoes itself. What do you think about Ride Me Down Easy?
There's an instrumental I like.
Oh, of course. I think this is another beautiful ballad. Talking about how hard life on the road is. You're down to your last shop with nothing to sell. And you're just trying to make ends meet. You're trying to get where you're going, and it's not working, and it's difficult. Ride me down easy. Leave word in the dust where I lay. I'm easy come, easy go, and easy to love when I stay. There's so many. Just Waylon Jennings traveling and moving on is a theme in almost all of his songs. He truly is a rambler, and you can see it on every song on this. And he's right to say that Billy Joe Shaver talks like a modern cowboy. People don't talk like this. People didn't talk like this in 1970.
Yeah.
I think this is just an excellently written album from a lyric standpoint. You just really feel the heart of the speaker and all these characters. Billy Joe Shaver has really outdone himself.
Say I'm easy come, easy go, and easy to love when I stay.
Yeah.
This song's about staying, not moving on.
Well, it's about trying to stay, but he's trying to get ridden down easy.
Yeah.
It's been a very difficult road.
I like the harmonica as well.
Yeah, harmonica, the instrumental. All the Wayland songs just have such a good, like, pep, country pluckiness to them that I really like. Ain't No God in Mexico is up next, and it is a song all about our southern neighbors. It's a song about comparison. He's used to life in America. He's heard tale of a magical place where the law leaves you alone and the women are friendly. He heads down to Mexico and he says, no, this is a lawless place. Ain't no way to understand how that border crossing feeling makes a fool out of a man. He says, I've known better. He said, if I hadn't felt the sunshine, I wouldn't curse the rain. But he's felt the sunshine. He's seen better, and he knows that it's not as good as it gets down there. Not all that it's cracked up to be. He goes down to Mexico and still gets busted by the man. What a time.
Yeah, that's supposed to be like the easiest place to not get busted by the man.
Well, you know, Waylon Jennings, the DEA was hot on his tail.
I do like the line, if I'd never felt the sunshine, I would not curse the rain.
Yeah.
That's a good line. But then it's followed up by a bit of a silly line of, if I hadn't been railroaded, I guess I'd be a train? What?
Yeah. This is just, you know, if. You can't dwell on ifs.
Not just, I like that wasn't like, I guess I'd be on a train, or like I'd ride the train. I'd be a train.
Yeah.
It's like, excuse me?
You know, you never know. It kind of parallels that line from up earlier. If my feet could fit a railroad track, I guess I'd be a train.
Yeah, just the, I guess I was in general just calling out the if I guess I'd be a train line.
Yeah.
But Black Rose.
Oh, wow, what a song up next.
Yeah, the devil made me do it the first time. The second time I'd done it on my own.
Yeah.
And the 213th time, Waylon Jennings made me do it.
With the 213th episode, Waylon Jennings made me do it, but the first time was Kings of Leon.
It was the 0th time.
Yeah, you know. This is another song where we got some great character work going on.
Yeah, we do.
And it's kind of a reference to Shakespeare.
Let's say there's a Shakespearean reference in here.
There's a simple man in a rose of a different name, which, as we all know, smells as sweet.
So I've been told.
Yeah. He's just praying, help me leave that black rose alone. Help me not get involved in this. I just think it's such a catchy song. Honestly, one of my favorites on the album, just for the guitar work alone.
Is the Black Rose supposed to be like a drug reference or an alcohol reference or just love? Like, what is Black Rose?
No, it's a person. It's a character in this story. Yeah.
It's a person. Okay. That's kind of what I thought.
She's a rose of a different name.
Makes sense.
Well, he says when the devil made that woman, he threw the pattern away.
Yeah, but sometimes they refer to drugs and alcohol as women, right? So
That's
I wasn't
true.
sure if this was like a reference to something. Another instrumental. Guitar goes off.
Right, it's so good.
It's great. Love it.
Up last, We Had It All, one of the most beautiful ballads on the album, and is the album's lone track not written by Billy Joe Shaver in any capacity.
Oh, wow.
It is by Troy Seals and Donnie Fritz, who actually, Donnie Fritz spent 4 decades as Chris Christopherson's keyboardist. Small industry, really. But even though it's not by Billy Joe Shaver, Wayland's recording here is still the first. It is such a pretty song. And it may just be the most covered song from this record. Famous names who have covered We Had It All include Conway Twitty, Dolly Parton, Willie Nelson, Tina Turner, Ray Charles, Bob Dylan, even the Rolling Stones. So that's cool. But Wayland's original version did go to number 28 on the Hot Country Singles chart and number 17 in Canada.
It's such a pretty song.
Yeah, it's lamenting a lost love. Remember how I used to touch your hair while reaching for the feeling that was always there? You were the best thing in my life that I recall. And we can never have those times again. And so I dream about it, and I stay asleep as long as I can. And it was all worthwhile, even though you didn't stick around, it was all worthwhile because we had it all. They just don't make songs like that often.
No.
That's such a sweet sentiment, such a beautiful song, and it's so well delivered.
Yeah, it's very well delivered. That's what I was about to say. He gets big at all the right moments, then backs it down to almost a whisper.
Yeah, I think the range that Waylon shows on Honky Tonk Heroes is awesome. He can sing the peppy Honky Tonk Heroes. He can sing the sweetest of ballads here. You know, he can pep up the jail song of Omaha. And he can slow down old Five and Dimers and be nostalgic. And he's doing the whole thing while he's doing a ton of drugs. Like, this is a man who can sing. This is a musician through and through. What an outlaw. But I think that's all I've got.
Yeah, I think that's all I got too.
Well, fantastic. Let's final spin about it. For me, I think you're totally spot on to say this album is pretty equally good throughout. The vibe's really consistent. Everything's really good. Billy Joe Shaver is an excellent songwriter. I didn't give Wayland a bonus point here.
Yeah.
I probably could have. This is a weird, rare case that could have gone either way. Because he was the first guy to put out all these songs.
Yeah, but he didn't write them.
And it was just one guy who did write all these songs. But he still probably picked...
I mean, a lot of country artists are the first artists to put out songs, but they don't write them.
It's true. Yeah, that's right. If I did that, it's no different than George Strait picking the best songs. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I decided not to give him a bonus point. But as for the music, it gets an 85. Some really memorable melodies on this record, even when the verses kind of get lost on you, which is rare. The choruses all stick around. And they stick around with the title, too. Like, every song title is pretty much the hook of the song. It's great. It just makes the whole thing really memorable. Really good experience. 85 on the music. 83 on the lyrics. This cowboy talk is really cool. It's so country. It's so good. The storytelling's great. The characters, when we get them, are compelling. It's rare to get a character. Most of these songs are just Wayland kind of acting as the speaker. But it's great. A lot of the themes get repetitive. A lot of the songs are about rambling and love and losing love. So there's a nice through thread in that way. I'm giving the lyrics an 83. Instruments and production, 85. Love the instrumentals here. The plucky, twangy guitars, the steel, the harmonicas, and Wayland's voice itself is just such a cool musical tool that he uses really well. So I'm giving an 85 to the instruments and production and an 86 for the vibe.
Nice.
This album looks like its album cover. I mean, you're just sitting around with the band, having a great time, reminiscing on the old, looking forward to the new, really soaking in the present. Honky Tonk Heroes is a pretty quality album. No bonus point leaves this album with a final score of 84.6, landing on my spreadsheet at number 407, which is above Nina Simone's I Put a Spell on You, and below Lil Wayne, The Carter 3. Weird comparison, but that's where it is. 407.
For me, this one's going to get an easy 9 units flushed down the toilet out of 10.
If there were 9 units here, they ain't here no more. 9 is pretty great. Oh, man. Love Wayland.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's good. Hang on. Yep. That means we got a 4 for 4 of the Highwaymen in my 9s.
All the Highwaymen individually got 9s. Oh, the expectations must be high for the Highwaymen episode then.
Yeah. What if they get worse as a group?
Wow. Worse than the sum of their parts. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy. All 4.
Yeah, your highest ranking Highwayman right now
It's probably Willie Nelson. No, it might be Christopherson.
Willy is your highest, then Christopherson,
Yeah, Willie's slightly higher. Yeah.
then Johnny Cash.
They're all within 6 of one another.
They're very close together. Where is Wayland going to land? Is he going to be close to these guys, or is he going to stand above or fall below?
Yeah, well, he's going to join the country corner. That's for sure.
The country club.
The country club.
It's a
sorry,
club.
Yeah, sorry, it's a club. Yeah, he's for sure joining the country club. I think I'm gonna slot him right below his buddy Chris Christopherson.
Wow.
I think Chris Christopherson had a little more repeatability from me,
Oh, definitely.
so that's why I gave him the edge.
That's great. Well, Christopherson's got some big hits on his album.
Yeah.
Sunday Morning Coming Down, To Beat the Devil.
I hate putting him above Johnny Cash because Apples in Prison is so good.
It is.
But
Well, it's a live album, so there's that.
yeah, I think that's the problem. I think that being a live album lowers it a little bit for me. And again, in terms of that listenability, that repeatability.
Sure.
So that's why I'm doing it. My top 3. It's a tough one.
Of course. Only 10 here, though.
In album order, we're going Honky Tonk Heroes for sure. We're going Low Down Freedom.
Ooh, good choice.
I think we're going You Ask Me To. And then honorable mention, we're going We Had It All for honorable mention.
Wow, I'm feeling like that's a Black Rose snub.
It was one of those two. It was down to those two. But I think the placement of We Had It All as the final track of the album gives it a little... I think, again, in a singles head-to-head, Black Rose might win it out. But for this album, ending on We Had It All just gives it a slight bit of an edge for me.
It's true.
And so I want to honorably mention that.
Yeah, you're right. There's a really good arc from the opening of Honky Tonk Heroes to the close of We Had It All.
Yeah.
It makes a very continuous kind of flow for the record. If you were to put it on a second time, you kind of end where you start. I like that.
But yeah, playlist pick.
Playlist pick.
I think I'm going You Ask Me To.
Wow. Not We Had It All. Interesting choice of ballad.
Yeah. I really like how You Ask Me To gets ballady, but also then gets big in the middle. Part of me wanted to take Low Down Freedom because Low Down Freedom's the track that got stuck in my head off this album.
Yeah.
After listening to it, I went around humming that. But we'll stick to my ballad guy roots, and You Ask Me To.
Okay. I'm thinking then if you're picking a ballad, I'm going to go something more up-tempo. And while I love songs like Ain't No God in Mexico and Omaha, I think the up-tempo pick from this album has to be Black Rose.
There we go.
It's just such a good storytelling outlaw country song. There we go indeed. That's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for rocking out, or well, countrying out, whatever you did. Tune in next week to see what album we go for. I'm excited about it. I think next week's going to be a really fun one.
Yeah.
You can follow us on social media for more updates at SpinItPod Official on Instagram, at SpinItPod on X, and of course, you can always find us on our website, www.spinitpod.com.
The best place to find us.
That's true. And if you wanted to do us a favor, make sure you follow and rate the podcast. And
yeah, do all the things. And tell a friend.
Yeah.
Tell your very best friend in the world that if they died in a fiery plane crash, you would get hooked on drugs and eventually get their motorcycle as a birthday gift. About the podcast.
That's a really specific kind of friend.
And if you don't have a friend like that, I don't know, just tell a friend that you think would be funny if they got stuck in a Big Bird costume.
Either way. Tell a friend you'd smoke weed on the roof of the White House with. I don't know. Whatever.
With their son.
Or with their son.
Unclear.
Or them. We don't know. We'll see you next week, so keep on rambling. And until then, keep spinning. Yeah, I was just about to say, it occurs to me that we do just say spinning at the end and usually not spinning.
Yeah.
I guess it depends. I feel like I say both.
I think it depends. I'll say spinning sometimes. I think it depends on how I say it.
We never write it as keep spinning without a G.
We should for this episode.
Oh, you're right. Probably we should. Keep rambling and keep spinning as a tribute to Wayland. Wayland.
Keep wailing.
I'm so glad his name's not Waylon Jennings. What? I mean, his parents named him Wayland. He didn't like that. Imagine how much less he'd like it if he was Wayland.
I'm sorry, I see water coming out from the bathroom. I think the Mixtaper is flushed. Something he shouldn't.
No, something that's not flushable.
I gotta go.
Well, whatever it was. If it was there, it's probably still there.
Hey, if we were ever here on this episode on the Spin It Podcast, we ain't no more.
Darn right.